72 hours, is that right?
Yes, correct.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much. Thank you. No, thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you. Thank you.
And authorities in Ohio say the man who allegedly rammed his car into a sheriff's deputy, killing him, did so intentionally. The suspect appearing in court today is the father of an 18-year-old killed in an officer-involved shooting on Thursday. The suspect charged with aggravated murder. Here's ABC's Christian Cordero.
Tonight, authorities say the shooting of an 18-year-old captured on police body cam is connected to the death of an Ohio deputy after that teen's father allegedly hit him with a car a day later. Prosecutors say the attack was calculated and premeditated. Cincinnati PD responding to reports of a stolen Kia at an apartment building Thursday morning. 4 suspects then fleeing police. Among them, 18-year-old Ryan Hinton. Body camera shows Hinton fall as he tries to run away. Police say they heard a metal clinking sound they believe was a gun.
He's got a gun! He's got a gun! On your right! On your right! He's got a gun!
As Hinton emerges from behind a dumpster, authorities say another officer firing 4 or 5 shots.
The officer says that he saw the suspect point the firearm at him.
Yes. Just 6 seconds passed between when police arrived and gunshots rang out. Officials say they tried administering medical aid. Hinton was struck twice and died. Investigators saying this gun was recovered from the scene allegedly found in Hinton's possession. On Friday, a day after that shooting and 2 hours after the Hinton family reviewed the body camera footage, according to the family's lawyer, a driver crashing a car into a Hamilton County deputy directing traffic near a commencement ceremony, killing him. The suspect, authorities say, is Ryan Hinton's father, Rodney Hinton Jr. Hinton's attorney calling the officer's death a horrific tragedy. At his first court appearance today, Hinton walked through a room packed with law enforcement. He's now charged with aggravated murder. The Hamilton County Sheriff says the deputy's death was a tremendous loss. Hinton Jr. is currently being held on no bail. His bond hearing scheduled for Tuesday.
Genesis chapter 49 and verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he crouched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim out here pushing his gospel and truth and his sincerity to the best of their ability, given to them by Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord willing, fall upon your houses. This is Brother Quanah Watt from the Arizona Great Millstone Camp, coming back at you, Lord will, with the edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Lord will, it is edifying. Lord will, it is straight to the point. Hey, Jake getting roused up, man. Right? Jake is fed up, right, with how Esau has been treating them, their children, their family members. Right? Jake is done with that, man. You know, there was a video that came out recently of two Edomites, right? It was two younger Jakes, a 16-year-old and I think a 12-year-old was with him, if I'm not mistaken, right? Driving in a all-white, Mercedes Benz, looks nice, right? And they were driving in a neighborhood, I can't remember exactly where they were going, but nonetheless, right? Two Edomites, right? Basically pulled them out of their car, not physically, but basically stopped them, right? Made them get out the car, and then attacked them with a very large traffic cone, throwing a rock into the car, scaring them, right? Coming at them, right? There's a video of them getting in their face, cussing them out, this, that, and the third, right? And Jake is getting tired of it. Now, you got Jake, fighting back, man. And this situation, man, Jake getting roused up. Judah getting roused up, which we know Judah is the head tribe, right? So ultimately what happens, right, when Judah ultimately does something, and well, guess what? The rest of the tribes follow, you know? Usually it's how it goes, man. You know, Judah will ultimately, create a dance move or, create some type of trend. And then what happens? The rest of the tribes follow suit. And then the rest of the world follows suit, man. You know? Well, see, now you got it to where Judah is rising up, right? Judah ain't fucking playing no more, man. You know? Dude was defending, basically coming at this cop for killing his son. You know, we know Esau and his fucking narrative, man. It's always they got a fucking gun, this, that, and the third. Right? I seen another video, I want to say maybe a couple days ago, of a Judite man walking down the street, open carry. I can't remember what state, but it was open carry. He got his gun. One Edomite cop pulls up, automatically has his hand on his gun already. Like, and as they say, right, if you're that fucking, which the dude said, he said, if you're that scared, you shouldn't be a police officer, man. And they asked him immediately for, a supervisor, and the supervisor comes up. Supervisor calm, but yet this younger Edomite cop, right, still got his hand on his gun. He's ready to fire, man. Right, and that goes back to that perpetual hatred that Esau has, right, for the Israelites, man. Right, let's go ahead and touch on that. Ezekiel 35 and verse 5. And this is a quick lunchtime lesson, man. Lord will, it's edifying thus far. But this is Ezekiel 35 and verse 5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. It says perpetual. Let's go ahead and look that up. Right? It's like, that's not the right one. Perpetual. Right here, perpetual. It says everlasting, unceasing, right? Fucking. I didn't mean to answer that shit. Telemarketers and shit. Let me go ahead and turn that do not disturb on. Salakia, right? It says everlasting, unceasing, existing indefinitely, right? The so-called white man, right, which we know biblically is called Esau Edom, right, has a everlasting hatred for the Israelites, right, which today would be the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And this is why you see, Esau, right, being recorded and all the shit that he's been doing, right? All that information is coming out, man. All the information is coming, all the wickedness that he has done is coming out. And see, Esau, since the creation of the internet and the fact that, all this shit is being put on the internet, Esau's been trying to create some type of narrative, right, about Jake, right, accuser of thy brethren, right, thou slanderest thy brother, thy mother's son, right. The Edomites have been doing nothing but slander, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Again, really mainly the southern tribes, right, the so-called blacks, mainly Judah, right? The so-called American Negroes, or the so-called blacks, the so-called African Americans have been slandering the shit out of them, man, right? To make it look as if, we deserve to be killed, man, right? As if we're the curse of the earth, as if we're the one out here, committing all different types of wickedness and iniquity, right? Esau put all that, the strip clubs and alcohol and drugs into our communities, and then turns around, and says, here, look, right? They're the scum of the earth, right? They're evil, right? They're wicked, when he's the one that's been doing that, man. Let's grab this precept real quick in Habakkuk, Habakkuk 2 and verse 15. It says, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, and that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Right? Esau's the one that puts this shit into our communities and then turns around and blames us, right? As if we're the ones that are destroying the earth, as if we're the ones that are destroying America, right? You got Trump sitting here, acting like, the northern tribes, right? Because that's who the focus is on, right? The northern tribes, the so-called Hispanics, right? Latinos, right? As well as the so-called the Native Americans, right? He's been putting them as if they're the ones that have been destroying, coming in with their gangs and this, that, and the third, destroying America. No, man. Esau's doing it, man. The self-proclaimed so-called white man. And see, Esau putting the blame on us, man. That shit's coming to an end. Right? First and foremost, the world sees that it's you damn devils causing the fucking problems, man. You know? Shit, Jake's seeing it too, man. Jake's seeing it. You're the ones that are over here fucking goddamn. You just out here, you're trigger happy, man. You know? You're trigger happy, man. And Jake getting fucking tired of it. This right here, right? This just shows you, man. This is the beginning of a race war, man. Right? This is the beginning of a race war that is to come, right? Let's go ahead and grab that. You know? In Matthew's the 24th chapter, because it tells you what, right? These are the different signs, right, that we were told, right, will ultimately be showing themselves, you know, at the very end, right? Matthew's the 24th chapter, and I'll just hit the point. Verse 7, it says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom," right? Which, hey, you got the nation of Israel, right, versus the nation of Esau, Edom, right? That race war that's ultimately sparking, right? It says, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places, right? So, and we're seeing all these different signs, man. You know? Hey, Judah ain't fucking playing no more, man. The Israelites, right, ain't gonna be playing no more, right? This is Isaiah 19, and I think it's verse 9. No slack. Right here, verse 17, Isaiah 19 and verse 17, it says, "In the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt," man. You know, which was the title of that video, you know, that, right here. All of a sudden it wants to act up. Right, this one right here, right? Arrows of Indignation, right? The video that, you know, I got that, you know, that played in the beginning, right? This is that brother's video. It says, "Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt." That ancient beef between Esau and Judah is about to unfold. And that's exactly right. You know, it's about to unfold. And see, a lot of the, you know, the rest of Israelites are going to get in the mix too. Right? The scriptures talk about Gad, right? That a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Right? And then in the same chapter, you know, Genesis, the 49th chapter. You know? So it's not just, you know, Judah, right? Really, it's going to be, you know, all of Israel, man. You know, at one point or another. All the tribes at one point or another, man. You know? Let's go back. It says in Isaiah 19 and verse 17, it says, in the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Every one that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself because of the counsel of Yahweh of hosts, which he hath determined against it. Right? Right? The Lord is ultimately going to put the spirit in the Israelites, man, to start, you know, rising up against Esau, Edom, man. You know? That as the brother had said in the title of that lesson, that ancient hatred between, you know, Esau and the Israelites, man, is about to you know, it's about to be it's about to showcase itself more in these times, man. You know, hey man, fuck Esau, man. Yeah, I can't wait to see Jake start coming up against these damn devils, man. You know. I can't wait, man. Yahweh Shemel Shah is stirring that spirit up, man. Hey, as men of the Lord, we ain't gonna do nothing, man. We're gonna let the Lord work. Right? We ain't gonna do nothing personally, man. You know, but nonetheless, hey, the Lord is rousing up, you know, Jake, man, to come up against this damn devil, man. You know, as soon as it's only gonna get worse, man. You know, again, we can't wait for this damn devil to, you know, for Jake to rise up against this devil, man. You know, it's definitely gonna be a sight to see for sure, man. You know. You know, but that's all I got, man. I don't want to speak on this too much. Hey, Yahweh Shemel Shah rousing Jake up, man. You know, and soon, again, right, soon we gonna see, you know, that you know, that race war. You know? Matter of fact, let's jump up to verse 3, Isaiah 19, it's like in verse 2. It says, "And I will set Egyptian against Egyptians," right? The modern day Americans, right, versus Americans, which, you know, Jake's, right? Here in America, they call themselves Americans, man. You know, so this is a, you know, a race and civil war that's about to pop off, man. You know, it says, "And I will set Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." And there you go, right? That race/civil war, right, is coming to America, man, real soon, right? We see it. You know, you had that Montgomery, fight, right? That really was a mass brawl, right? And it was really what? Jake versus Esau, you know? And now you're seeing more. Now Jake really starting to step up, man. You know, so Esau, man, you better watch the fuck out, man. You better watch the fuck out, man. And the Lord's stirring Jake's spirit up, man. You know? But that's all I got, man. Lord wills edifying, Lord wills straight to the point. I want to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash, the blower, and said the elder apostles, at the bishops, the great millstone. To next time I say shalom.